To our active participants, supportive attendees, and knowledge seekers, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all. Though we are in different parts of the world, this activity unites us all with sharing the common goal of learning together. Feed your skills, innovate, inspire, impact. Welcome to Institute of Global Professionals. I am your host for the evening, Lercia L. Pelaez from New Era University, Quezon City, Philippines. Be one of the change that embraces the new modalities of learning. We believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge while embracing the chances of this learning. Each time, you can also like and comment in our webinar. Don't forget to tag and share with your friends and community. We are hoping that all of you will be associated with IGP as a global member. Please continue being with us in all the webinars. Check in on the IGP page, recommend IGP, and mention your friends. Before we start our program, let us learn more about IGP. IGP is an institution of global professionals which serves student and community resource, provides holistic social work and education to create a proficient generation. Our mission is to empower people and enhance effective training and consultation all over the world. We organize our webinar, training, offline and online courses by best and trained speakers, coaches to create a best learning platform for all of you. We expect that all of the webinars help you in your professional growth, and we wish that you will stay with us in this long journey. Let me remind you again to share, tag, and comment because your encouragement helps us to do better and provide quality service to all of you. And for the certificate, please click the link www.eduigp.com courses Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. Click enroll now. This is the same link that can be used for certification, but only after the live program. You need a code to claim your certificate, which we will share only on our live program. To catch your attention, you can join all our free international webinars through our official Facebook page, group, and YouTube channel. ISO verified e-certificate will be provided to all the active participants. We are very honored to welcome you all in this marvelous event. Let us welcome the IGP 136th webinar with the topic Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. It is our privilege to welcome our speaker for today. So without further ado, let us start our program with IGP's reminder, Feed Your Skills. Our first speaker is from the Philippines, Mr. Juan Martin Guash. Let us give a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, Tirza, for that.
Hi,
Good
sir.
evening,
It's nice.
everybody. Hi. So let me share my presentation.
Yes, sir. We will be waiting for the presentation, sir.
Can you already see my...
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see your presentation now.
Again, once again, good evening. Thank you very much, Institute of Global Professionals, for inviting me to become part of this international endeavor, especially on the topic Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. Let me try to give you a short introduction of myself. My name is Juan Martin Guash. very unusual surname, Gouache. If you're German, the right way to pronounce my surname is Guask. But my father came to the Philippines in 1901 as part of the last Spanish armada that was sent to the Philippines. I never left the Philippines, met a beautiful woman from Pampanga, and stayed in the Philippines. I finished my AB Philosophy and Letters from San Beda College. I'm an MA Philosophy candidate from the University of Santo Tomas. I'm a registered licensed librarian. I finished my master's in library information science from the University of the East. My third course and my third most loved course, master's in tourism and hospitality management from the College of the Holy Spirit. I'm a candidate for the Doctor of Education from the University of the East. Here are the following certifications that I have received. I'm a certified tourism professional and certified hospitality professional as given by the International Tourism Hospitality Professionals from the United Kingdom as partnered with the Philippines. I've also received my guest service professional certification from the American Hotel and Lodgers Association. I'm a certified basic occupational safety and health officer as given by the World Safety Organization and as in partnership with DOLE, the Department of Labor and Employment in the Philippines. I've also received two completion courses from TESDA, Front Office Services and Food and Beverages Services. Lastly, I've done my internship with the Culinary Department of the Sofitel Philippines International. I've also finished the following online courses with New York Institute of Technology, Gaming, Literacy and Learning, Cornell University Introduction to Global Hospitality Management, Massey University Emergency Management, Stanford University Changing the Globe course of learning with Open to Study, Food, Nutrition, and Your Health, and finally with American Library Associations for Fundamentals in Catalog. At present, I'm a faculty member of the Graduate School of Baliwag University. At the same time, I'm the National Head Director Consultant of the Alliance of Hospitality and Tourism Movers of the Philippines, or APO. Let me start with our topic for today, Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. I'd like to zero in on 6 topics for today. The first one is Homo Viator, and then the second is snippets of the history of travel. Then third, the global hospitality planning. Fourth, modern travelers. 5, the Philippine setting. And 6, what is next? Let me start something that is very close to my heart. This is Gabriel Marcel. He's a French philosopher, a playwright, and music critic, and leading Christian existentialist. He wrote a book somewhere in 1972 with the title Homo Viator, Introduction to the Metaphysics of Hope. According to Marcel, man is on a constant journey. That is the literal translation of Homo Viator or Viator. Snippets of the history of travel. From the early history of man, the early human migrations, we can see that man is in constant movement from place to place, even as early as the ancient men. Next, we have Herodotus, the father of history. History literally would mean autopsies or personal inquiries. Herodotus spent his life traveling from one person's territory to another. He crossed the Mediterranean Sea to Egypt, Palestine, Syria, Babylon, Macedonia, Rhodes, Cyprus, Delos, Paros, Passos, Samothrace, Crete, Samos, Cetera, and Aegina. He traveled to record myths and legends and all oral histories and made notes of the places and the things that he saw. From the medieval age, I'd like to call in mind the book of Joseph, the Canterbury Tales. Canterbury Tales is a collection of 24 stories written between 1387 to 1400, and these tales is a collection of pilgrimages, no, which is a contest of pilgrims traveling from London to Canterbury to visit the shrine of Saint Thomas Becket. Finally, next snippet in the history of travel. Now we have Marco Polo, who changed the world by writing a book about his travels from Venice to the court of Kublai Khan in China. His accounts of these journeys inspired other adventurers, such as the explorer Christopher Columbus. It would be known that Christopher Columbus would be carrying with him a copy of Marco Polo's travel. Maps he brought back helped to develop European cartography, and he even introduced Europe to Chinese innovations such as paper, money, coal, eyeglasses, and even postal services. Another important character in the history of travel would be Ferdinand Magellan. He lived from 1480 to 1521. The expedition of Magellan is very significant to world history and even to travel, because his voyage was able to circumnavigate the world or globe, to go around by water, circumnavigate. Although he never finished it and died in the Philippines sometime in 1522, but it was Elcano and other 18 survivors who were able to finish that expedition. Here's a picture of demonstrating the travel of Magellan and as finished by Elcano. Let me try to call in another famous author, Jules Gabriel Verne, born in February 8, 1828, March 24, 1905, a French author and a pioneer of the science fiction genre. The reason I wanted Verne into this discussion is because he is a noted author. He wrote about travel underwater. He wrote about submarines, space travel, even before the time that these devices were created. Here are some of his works: Around the World in 80 Days, The Mysterious Island, Journey to the Center of the Earth, From the Earth to the Moon by Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So I've started with the concept of Marcel's Homo Viator, a man as in a continuous journey or man in journey, and taken important historical events or milestones that demonstrates man's ability to travel, not just in his community, not just within his sphere or circle, but also moving beyond and always exploring new things. Let me go to the third topic for today: global hospitality plan, recovery for readiness. The recovery for readiness has the following topics. Number one, as a tourism industry, we need to keep our guests connected, this time virtually. Before, what we were thinking is that we should be able to experience everything physically, but now experience is more of on a virtual level. So what we need to do is to be able to keep our guests connected. We need to maintain communication through social media or email, editorial contents, and we need to build back the trust of travelers, and then we need to create the concept of our institution, our business, our organization as a trusted destination. So communication should be able to convey value, transparency, empathy, and leadership towards customer safety and even well-being. These are the things that we need to communicate to the people who will be traveling. Now that we are already moving towards a phase of recovery. Number two, leverage downtime appropriately. Management should take this opportunity for maintenance projects, comprehensive deep cleaning, and other physical issues. Take care of visual properties, ensuring that their website and social channels are relevant, user-friendly, and inviting guests. Excuse me. So there are two things that we need to take into consideration when we're talking of the downtime, because we saw that the pandemic has stopped, you know, businesses, but some business organizations were able to take that opportunity to uh, do the maintenance projects. No? So, for example, even in academic institutions, they took the opportunity to build new classroom or new facilities, and for hotel and travel institutions, we need to do the maintenance works, you know, of our piping, even our drainage. And we need to do clean and sanitize everything in preparation for the ability to accept new guests or guests. And finally, the second part of that downtime is it would give us more time for us to be able to take care of our virtual properties. And these are our websites and our social media part. Third, this is opportunity for us to prepare our staff for policy changes. So the pandemic situation has created this disruptive atmosphere. No? But again, we should be able to take this opportunity to be able to properly train our staff, no? Create better documentation, and a persistent application and adherence to the new standards and protocols. So we need to train our staff into the heightened cleaning standards that are now being imposed, the physical distancing that we really need to be aware of and be conscious of, especially when people are in public. There's a tendency for people to forget that there is a need for us to continue that distancing. And then further amend staff guest protocols. So the relationship between staff and our guests, better policies and protocols for that. Finally, number four, as part of the recovery readiness for global hospitality industry, we need to ramp up our marketing. So what we need to do is to revisit digital strategies so that we can optimize our online touch points and omni-channel capabilities, reminding clients of the company's brand of product and services. So remember, we are not only maintaining one online channel, but there are several channels that we are maintaining, aside from our Facebook, the Viber, other online resources that we are using to promote our business. So we need to optimize all of that and be able to create a better way of, as we mentioned a while ago, communicating with our guests and being able to make that continuous connection with them. Here are some of the hospitality brands and authorities that have come together to meet the new health and safety standards. I'm giving you 8 examples of these hotel brands, such as ITC Hotels launch is Reassure program, the Red Roof Ready Clean, health standards, the Domio Difference Program, Marriott Global Cleanliness Council, Choice Hotels Commitment to Clean Initiative, the American Hospitality Lodgers Association Stay Safe Initiative, Best Westerns We Care Clean Program, and finally Hilton Clean Stay with Lysol Protection. Next, we need to discuss modern travelers. Uh, Although there's a way of for me to be using the word could, just to be able to uh, create the distinction of the modern travelers from the way it is perceived right now, no? So right now, the good travelers are the millennials, and the millennials are what we call the travel demanding generation. Before the pandemic, or even right now, no, even during the time that it's lockdown, there's still these modern travelers have ways of being able to find ways to be able to have their vacation, escape Manila or escape the city and do away with protocols. No? At the same time, the second characteristic for these millennials is that um, ownership doesn't define status. It's all about the experience. For them, it's more of the experience. And finally, number three, a love affair with technologies. The millennials wouldn't be the millennials without their love affair for technology. And because of that technology, that connectivity, they have the 24/7 social media. They're always online. And the need for gamification. Everything for them has to be in the form of a game. And next, we have hotels and alternative accommodation on rise. An example of this would be the BNB. So that's an alternative accommodation that was initiated to accommodate the millennials. No? And finally, the millennials mode of enjoying things is that it has to be personalized. That's why a while ago I said that it's all about the experience. So personalization of these activities of travel is the key to success. So here's a pictographic presentation to the millennials. As you can see, they will be able to exist without their gadgets with them. And naturally, the selfies, which they've introduced. The second type of the modern travelers are the unusual travelers. Um, in the in the late 2000, this we have what we call as the flash packers, no? As against the 80s backpackers or the backpackers. No? So the flash packers are actually the affluent backpacker. So this is a term coined by Flashpacker HQ. It denotes a lifestyle of travelers of people who are in their 30s and 40s. They're always actively seeking out authentic encounters, have the budget to experience the best every destination has to offer. So that's the keyword there. They have the budget. So flashpackers travel in style and believe in wrapping it in luxury. So the terms are they have the budget, they travel in style and in luxury. So here are the 8 traits for the flashpackers. Number 1, they seek high value experiences or services. Number 2, they have more funds to splurge to travel. Number 3, sees the value of time more important than the value of money. 4, into business venture or works in a corporate world. 5, sees traveling as an avenue of business ideas. 6, on career break or on a holiday. Most of the flashpackers are tech savvy and they travel with less baggage for convenience of traveling. So they just bring their simple bag with them. They have this idea of I'll go there and just buy my things. If I need a short, I'll just buy it there. They don't need to bring so much with them in traveling. They practically travel light. So here's pictures of flashpackers. So we have here flashpackers from Australia, flashpackers visiting Boracay Island in the Philippines, And this one, the last one that tells you how the flash packers are to be inspired. Second, we have the backpackers. As against the flash packers, we have the backpackers who are budget travelers. So these are, as defined by dictionaries, a person who travels with a backpack, not Dora the Explorer, a person who travels with a backpack, usually not spending very much money staying in places that are not expensive. A person goes walking from this place in the countryside, carrying the things they need in a backpack and camping at night. So everything is already with them. Normally, they look for cheap hotels where they can stay. So it's not so much about the place that they stay, but it's more of the walking, the traveling, and the adventure in going around. So there are five characteristics that defines a backpacker according to Pierce 1998. There is a preference for budget accommodations. We mentioned that. There is an emphasis on meeting other travelers. Number three, an independently organized and flexible travel schedule. They create their own itinerary. So this is as against tourism industries, people who prepare their and reserve for them. They're the ones who's doing their itinerary, exploring things around them. They have longer stay rather than the very brief holidays that some travelers are doing. So this is like 5 days. And there's an emphasis on informal and participatory holidays activities. So they're more for the holidays. So here's an example of the backpackers. So if you see people with those big backpacks, most likely they are the backpackers. As opposed to the flashbacker, they normally travel light. Then the downside, which is the third type of travelers, are the backpackers. I don't know if you've seen this already. When we were traveling in Thailand, I saw some, but I was not sure if it was really that they're begging for that. But finally, I've realized that there is such a thing as backpackers. So these are people who travel and beg to in order to fund their traveling. So a backpacker is a Western tourist who tries to fund their continuing travel plans by begging for money on the streets of countries that are much poorer than the country that they came from. There are examples of that. So there are some nationals who are negative about this. No? And the third would be the new normal travelers. And the new normal travelers normally check local government policies right now. So in the last part or phase of the pandemic, the last part of the 2020 to the early part of the 2021, when some countries are relaxing their port of entry and allowing people to be able to travel. And the first thing that these new normal travelers are doing are check local government requirements and policies. Number two, there is a need for them to book a hotel in advance. Number three, there is a need for them to confirm status of attractions and their opening hours and policies. Because there might be a possibility that the attraction that they want to go to is closed because of this scenario. So there is a need for them to confirm that status. And at the same time, it might be closed on a particular day, open on a particular day. Next, we need to check available public transportation options. How do we travel? And finally, the new normal travelers will have to bring their own PPE with items with them. These are the personal protective equipments with them. such as alcohol, handkerchief, mask, face shields, and whatever is needed in that cabin. So here are the examples of the new normal travelers. They're traveling with their face masks. There's social distancing even in the airplanes. And always have their alcohol with them, gloves most probably. And let me try to continue with that. The new normal for travelers before the trip. So they need to do thorough planning. They need to have a very good reason for traveling. They need to check on destination and accommodation, their budget. Now it's a little important, health certificate or medical clearance, and naturally the means for transportation. The new normal for travelers during the trip. The new normal travelers will have to be conscious with health protocols and safety tips. Even in food handling, they have to be very, very conscious with food handling. Number three, the new normal for travelers after the trip. Once the trip is done, there are three things that you need to do. You need to do your self-quarantine, you need to disinfect your stuff, and then you need to do self-monitoring. So the fourth topic, the Philippine setting, for me, is a macrocosm of the global trends. I mean, to say, if we look at what is happening in the Philippines, we would be able to at least see already picture what is also happening in the rest of the world. So this is actually given by Mr. Warner Andrada from the Office of the Tourism Development Planning and Research and Information Management of the Department of Tourism. At the same time, this report is coming from the Philippine Statistics Authority as presented by Ms. Vivian Ilarina, the Assistant National Statistician. This was just a week ago. This was during the Multi-Destination Forum. So according to our statistics, there's about 1,482,535 visitor arrivals in 2020. That was a decrease of 82.05% from the visitors in 2019, which is about 8,216,913. And here's a 9-year comparison on the inbound visitor travelers. You can see that there is a steady growth up to 2019, but in 2020, there is that sudden decrease. And here is a comparison of a monthly visitor arrival from 2019 to 2020. As you can see the difference, you have the 2019 lines, the blue lines, and then the orange line is the 2020. So in the Philippines, the lockdown started in March. So as you can see, from January, February, it went down to March and all the way down up to December. Here are the top 12 visitor markets that we have in the Philippines. Korea topped it at 338,877, USA at 211,816, China at 170,432, Japan at 136,664, Australia at 55,000, and etc. Here are the international air arrivals by port in 2020. So Manila has the bulk at 65.12%, 948,980. Total visitor arrivals for that year was 1,457,334. For 2020, the visitor receipts that we received was at 82.24 billion, but there is a decrease to 82.94% because in 2019 we had 482.2, 15 billion pesos. And here's a comparison of that receipt for 4 years. In 2016, 230 billion. In 2017, 335. 2018, 405 billion. 2019, 482 billion. And 2020, 82 billion to 24. Here are the spending patterns. On average daily expenditure in 2020 was 6,759 and in 2019 is 6,647. The average length of stay for the visitors were 158 nights and for 2019 at 49 nights. The reason for that, remember, is that there is a quarantine period of 7 or 14 days in the hotels. Here's the profile of the visitors for 2020. What is the main purpose of travel, holiday, and pleasure at 54%, business trips at 2.61%, and health medical purposes for 1.08%. And the mode of travel by air, 98%, by sea, 1.70. The profile of visitors according to sex, male at 56.53%, so there's more female, and 40% for female, and those who did not state their gender at 3.08%. The frequency of visit for the first timers at 30% and the repeat visitation at 69%. Average age of those who came to the Philippines was 36 or 37 years old. Travel arrangement, 3.60 package tour, while 96% independent travel arrangements. Outbound travelers at 1,482,900. 1,481 of that are Filipino residents, while 1,754 are the foreign residents. 2020 profile of the outbound travelers, the purpose of travel, holiday or leisure at 23.94, while 10% for health and medical. So this people going out of that country. So majority of these are female at 50.42% and 49.23% for male. Age range, 25 to 34 at 31, 35 to 44 at 28, and 45 to 54 at 16. So majority of the people traveling out of the country is 25 to 34 years old. Occupation, majority of these are professionals, 23.21, seafarers at 16.31, and laborers at 11.47. So estimated domestic trips, 24,250,000, a decrease of 77.90% because the original in 2019 was 109,752,400. This is the Philippine Tourism Satellite accounts. Excuse me. So here's the comparison between the gross domestic product and the global data. No? As you can see, in 2019, $9.2 trillion or 10.4% of the world's GDP came from tourism. And in 2020, it slumped down to 5.5%. And in 2019, tourism created 334 million, that is 1 out of 10 jobs. And in 2020, 272 million, that is 1 out of 11 jobs. Okay, and next we have the total GDP contribution, 2.5 trillion or 12% of the GDP of the Philippines came from tourism, while in 2020, 973 billion, that is a 64% negative change. So total employment in tourism industries for the Philippines, 2019 at 5.7 million, that's 13 out of 100 were employed in tourism. And in 2020, 4.7 million, which is a negative 18 change, slight change, but that's 12 out of every 100 were employed in tourism. These are the global initiatives in tourism. 1983, you have the United Nations World Tourism Organization and UNSD for their aligned tourism recommendations of systems of national accounts. 1994, the United Nations and UNWTO published the recommendations on tourism statistics. 1997, the OECD Tourism Committee made the first recommendation. 1999, they endorsed the tourism satellite accounts, recommended methodological framework for these tourism accounts. In 2001, 44 countries developed and implemented the TSA. And in 2008, we had the 6th International Tourism Forum for Parliamentarians and Local Authorities workshop on developing tourism statistics and the TSA. And finally, in 2017, we had the Manila Call for Action on measuring sustainable tourism, and at the same time, International Year of Sustainable Tourism Development. Here's the historical development of tourism satellite accounts in the Philippines. It started in 1998 with a research study of the conversion of tourism into the Philippines and ended up with the overall revision of the PTSA. 2018 estimates were revised following the overall revisions rebasing ORR of the Philippine System of National Accounts in 2020. So the satellite accounts were taken from these, from tourism, activities in the ocean, health activities, environmental, education, science and technology, and even those that are from the digital economy. So these are the published books of the Philippine Statistics Office, the PTSA accounts. Taken from tourist arrivals, length of stay, employment, types of accommodation, and finally the means of transport. So what are the tourism products and industries that were identified for the Philippines? So we have 7. 1, accommodation services for visitors. Then we have the food and beverage serving services, transport services, entertainment and recreation services, travel agencies and other reservation services, country-specific tourism characteristic services. And miscellaneous items such as spa and foreign exchange. So they got this data from the Department of Tourism and the PSA on the following elements. And these are the 3 government agencies that helps support the PTSA. The Commission on Audit with its annual financial report, the Department of Budget and Management for its budget of expenditures and sources of financing, and the General Appropriation Act or GAA, and then the Bureau of Local Government Finance, the Statement of Receipts and Expenditure per government agency. Tourism total contribution to the Philippine economy in 2020. In 2020, we had 973.3 billion. In 2019, that's 2.5 trillion. No, that's 5.4% of the gross domestic product. So there is an average growth rate of, for a period of 20 years, there's an average growth rate of 10.4%. Inbound tourism expenditure, there is a decrease of about 77.9%. For 2020, 132.6 billion, 2019, 600.1 billion. So inbound tourism expenditure ranked 4 in the biggest export items of the Philippines, such as 6%, other export goods, 11.9%, agricultural products, 84%, and inbound tourism at 5.2%. Domestic tourism expenditure decreased by 82.3%. So from 3.1 trillion, it went down to 556.9 billion. There is an average growth rate of 12.5 from 2000 to 2020. Outbound tourism expenditure, so 91.2 billion, to from 340.2 billion to 91.2 billion. Sorry, there's a 73.2% decrease. Internal tourism expenditure within the Philippines, there is a decrease of 81%, 689.5 billion from 3.7 trillion. Employment tourism 4.7 million, decrease 18.1%, so from 5.7 million to 4.7 million. Distribution of employment by industry. So who shares in the tourism industry in the Philippines? So number one, passenger transport at 39%, accommodation and food beverages 31%, miscellaneous at 15%, retail trade at 7.6%, recreation entertainment 4.9%, travel agents, tour operators, and tourism guides at 0.8%. Gross fixed capital formation decreased by 28%. So in 2019, it's 605.2 billion, and in 2020, it's 430.7 billion. Tourism collective consumption it increased by 9%, 81.7 billion from the 74.9 billion in 2019. Alright, so I'm in the last leg of my discussion. So what is the future? What is next? With all of this, we've started with Man in Journey. We've given you snippets in history. We've talked about global, the recovery stages, and we've talked about the modern travelers, and we've shown you what is happening with the Philippines. So what is next now? Let me quote Albert Einstein when he said, "In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity." So we are right now in a crisis, and there is definitely great opportunity. So here are the broad travel themes. Restaurants. We need to highlight cleaning protocols, social distancing. We need to stay updated with entry restrictions, border regulations that will continue to be necessary. So this will never end. It will stay. So these health protocols, cleaning protocols will stay no matter what, because it's already there. It's already ingrained in the structure of the hospitality and tourism industry. Number two, we need to understand the concept of flexibility. Right now, there are some airline companies who have eliminated their change fee. Remember, if your booking has been canceled and you need to change flights, sometimes airline companies are charging for the change fee. So now, because of this condition, airline companies have removed that to make booking more comfortable. Number three, familiarity. So in travel, familiarity is very important because people return to places that they have already visited. And in turn, they recommend this to family members and even friends. And finally, another broad theme would be sustainability. Right now, the pandemic has given an opportunity for nature to take its course without man in the middle of it. So the sky seems cleaner, bluer, clearer, the oceans are cleaner, and the wildlife, it seems they have returned because there's less human activity. So what are the travel trends for 2021? Number one, leisure. So business and leisure combined, or vacations. So your work and vacations combined together. So the blend of business, travel, and leisure. So we need to ask ourselves, where do we want to go? Where do I want to go? What do I want to experience? What do I want to discover? And next trend would be self-booking. Although we've seen in the previous statistics that there's more people doing the self-booking, they're doing their own arrangement, but still these people need to have a fallback in case that there are certain changes that they wouldn't be able to do it on their own. So there's still a need for the travel agencies behind that to be able to handle complex travel issues. Now, number three, this is already happening, contactless technologies. So even monitoring, health monitoring are already contactless with the QR codes. So we have keyless entries, digital menu, have already found their structure in the travel ecosystem. We go to restaurants, even in fast food, we are now doing the digital menu. Number four, we can no longer do away with this artificial intelligence and virtual assistants. We use the data to make the predictions of past behavior, resulting to personalized recommendations. We have an example of Siri as an example of a virtual assistant that can provide you with itinerary updates. And then number five, on-demand testing. No, so home test kits, on-site testing for hotels and airports are now being done. So we have the RPG, which gives you the result in short while compared to waiting for a longer period of time for the results. Number six, up-to-date data on restrictions. So we need to, again, we've been saying this, we need to always know border regulations and travel restrictions whenever we're going. And number seven, domestic tourism and staycation. So we go local. So now that there's more restriction in travel, we can still travel within our locality. So we're promoting domestic tourism. Finally, here are 6 customer-focused and tech-based solutions to help customers feel comfortable booking travel again. These are the 6: RubyQ, Caravelo, PlusGrade, Koala, GoQuo, and Smart Travel. Let me try to describe them to you one by one. So RubyQ, here's from their a print screen of their website. So it enjoys the simplicity of booking your own ticket. Caravelo, deliver measurable profitability through digital passenger engagement. So this is a system for travel agencies. PlusGrade helps you upgrade or gives you discount. So powered by PlusGrade, the market leading provider of upgrade solutions, a key segment of ancillary revenue and merchandising sector in the global travel industry, allows you to have upgrades and discounts. And then we have the L'Assurance Voyage and Tour Simplicité. It focuses on travel insurance and helps travelers recoup compensation quickly. Then we have the GoQuo, which is a customizable airline internet booking engine, IBE, for B2B, business to business bookings. And last one, we have the Smart Travel, an AI empowered content. So let me go back from where I started. Let me end up with Gabriel Marcel's Homo Viator, Introduction to the Metaphysics of Hope. So I've shown you that despite the pandemic and throughout the history of man, we've engaged ourselves in exploring the things around us, exploring beyond our surroundings, and having the courage to be able to overcome unsurmountable, it seems, unsurmountable problems. But still, we can look at the history of humanity that we would be able to overcome all of this. So let me try to quote from that work of Gabriel Marcel. I almost think that hope is for the soul, what breathing is for the living organism. Where hope is lacking, the soul dries up and withers. So, as long as we live, there will always be hope. As long as man is in constant journey and in search for His meaning, for the meaning of life, there will always be hope for all of us. And finally, to end my talk, I hope you'll be able to uh, hear this. Let us watch this short presentation from the Philippines. Thank you, Institute of Global Professionals, for inviting me. Thank you, Alliance of Hospitality and Tourism Movers of the Philippines. Thank you to all the attendees. Reminder for everybody, stay safe, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you so much, Sir Julian Martin, for giving us insightful tips in terms of modern traveling. I think there's an echo, but it's okay. We'll keep on talking, and we would like to appreciate Sir Juan Martin Guash. You shared awareness to everyone that we will consider to meet ethical and societal standards of different places we plan to travel. I also read some of the comments, sir. Ma'am Nympha Abawag says, I miss traveling. So the one that you shared, sir, has give us awareness. So we will be more informed of the applications that we need to use so we can adapt to the digital lifestyle when it comes to traveling. So from Mylene
Yes,
Maceda
there's that
Sanchez,
itch.
very useful.
Yes, there's that itch already of traveling.
Yes, sir. And thank you also for promoting the Philippines as well. So for our international viewers, you can visit the Philippines using the app that Sir Martin is shown a while ago. So once again, Sir Julian Martin Guash from the Philippines. Let's give a virtual round of applause. Thank you again, sir. We will consider ourselves as knowledge travelers because we keep attending IGP. So it's like we're traveling also because of learning. So you're one of the keynote to our learning tonight, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you also, Lirs. Thank you.
We'll see each other later, sir, for the question and answer portion. All right, so now we will proceed with our next speaker. But before that, let us have some summary. So, the social impact of COVID-19 has changed the travelers and may affect the world of hospitality. Hospitality will stay as long as the travelers will follow all the health and safety procedures. Things right now might be temporary but might be permanent as well. But as this new normal arise, we must show resilience to adapt to this new emerging environment. So we are human and we are all capable to change. So I guess we are flexible when it comes to the changes when it comes to traveling. So to all the knowledge travelers, let's proceed with our next speaker for tonight. Our next speaker is the founder and CEO of Independent Perception and Research Hub, an author and professor of Bangladesh Tourism Research Institute, and an advisor and country director. Let us welcome Professor Muhammad Sharyar Parvez from Bangladesh. Hi,
Am I
sir.
audible?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, sir, your audio is loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Uh, so I want to share my slides now.
Yes, sir, we are all excited.
Yes.
So, to all the attendees, you can prepare your questions to our two speakers, Sir Julian Martin Guash and Professor Muhammad Sharyar Parvez. Once again, let us welcome Professor Muhammad Sharyar Parvez. You may start,
Hello,
sir.
everyone. It is clear to all?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. So, hello, everyone, dear participants. This is MD Sharia Parvez, and this is my affiliation is here. I'm the professor and advisor of Bangladesh Tourism Research Institution, Bangladesh, Chair and CEO, Independent Perception and Research Hub, IPRH, Bangladesh, Advisor, Bangladesh Tourism Explorer Association, BTEA, Country Director, Euromed Research Business Institution, International Reviewer of HRPUB USA, Associate Editor of World Journal of Social Science Australia, Track Chair and Reviewer of Euromed Research Business Institution, Reviewer and Fellow of Global Research Institution for Business Academics, Associate Fellow and Reviewer of World Business Institution, Australia, Life Member Asiatic Society of Bangladesh, Life Member Bangladesh Economic Association, and I was the ex-professor of finance in the DVS University of Bangladesh. And I give my thanks to the for this international webinar organized by Institute of Global Professional (IGP), and it's a very good platform. And the audience who are already participate here, you have the opportunity to gain the knowledge day by day. If you earn the knowledge, then it will become your power because knowledge is power. So now I would like to continue my presentation today. Today our presentation is on the topic of global hospitality planning with modern travelers. And already Dr. Martin said very well, and he already showed very much important theories, very much important points. I just continue or on that topics. And today's my focus point is global accommodation for modern travelers. And we already know that it's a COVID-19 era. So staying at home means traveling tomorrow, stay at home. But in our mind, we always want to travel in this world, in this country, also in your country. Now come to the point that what is tourism? Because if you want to know about the traveler, then at first you must understand that what's the meaning of tourism. Tourism is the process where people from one place to another go for enjoyment, spend the time. It play a great role for the development of a country. So the tourism demand of different communities, increasing and different culture of the world are homogenized on one culture. On one side, development occurred, but on the other side, different diseases and transfer from one country to another world. Now, the point is here that activities of the person traveling and staying in the place outside their usual environment for new experiences, not more than one consecutive year for leisure. The tourism, the act, the process of spending time away from home, pursue your recreation, relaxation, pleasure, while making us commercial provision of services. And such as tourism is a product of modern social arrangement. Now, tourism industry, tour plus ISM means tourism. In the tourism industry, you can see clearly that there are transportation, there are accommodation, there are visitor attraction. And in the transportation, using the air, the bus, in the accommodation, using the hotels, the guest house, and also the visitor attraction, the nature, the culture, the society. So now our today's point is accommodation. So tourism organizer also a part of the tourism industry, and at last the point is here that revenue is one of the point that from the tourism that a country will generate revenue, and it will give the contribution to the country's GDP. Now, the tourism industry is a business network, and under this network, you already observe that there are 400 different jobs connected with tourism industries, and they are require different skills, different experience, and also education. Now, in the tourism industry, in the real sense, the tourism industry is the link with every sector of the economy in the world, which positively and negatively affect the GDP of the country. Throughout the tourism, many employments were generated, play great role in the poverty reduction, socio-economic, and improvement of the world. And tourism improved the trade of the country and also boost the industrial sector of the world. Now we're thinking that why Professor Purvis say so much on tourism, because this webinar on the point of traveler, the modern traveler. The point is here, when you are alone, you are become sleepy. So you have no one to play with you. So you play a frisbee by yourself. Now, when you are traveling, you are social. So always thinking that when you are traveling, if you are traveling alone, but you become social, by the around by the people around you. So now the point is here that travelers comes in the point. Like in the first picture, we see when your girlfriend says she only bringing her essential for the trip, then her bag will be this much. And also we observe here Mr. B, a traveler, and also we observe a little a child. So he or she also a traveler. So here we also observe the Beans Holiday film. So in that movie, we all observe that how the Mr. Bean travel in what ways. Now, my point is here in the traditional traveler, like the business traveler, like the leisure traveler, also the special interest traveler. And in this way, we can divide the traveler in a traditional manner. But if we come to the point of modern traveler, so this is the picture of some modern travelers. Like in the modern traveler, you observe that traveling is now is a pleasure. Like someone wants to eat food in the traveling, someone go for a beautiful place, and someone go for adventure in the traveling, and someone go for adventure in the traveling at the time of traveling, and someone go to the spa spa for beautification. So this is called the modern traveler. Now, traveler types. So modern traveler means something different to travel every traveler. For some, it's a way to spend time with friends and family. For others, it's a way to get the taste of the adventure, to explore the new culture. Each of us has our type of modern personality when we set up out on a trip. So, come to the point, the travelers, types of travelers. Number one, the cultural virtue. This is one types of traveler. They are traveling for find out the amazing of culture, exploring the museum. And another point is come number two, the foodie traveler. They are travel around the world for searching different types of delicious foods. It's also happened with me because when I am traveling, I also searching where the good food is here and what's local foods found in this society, in this society, in this country, in this community. Now come to the point that number three, the nature travelers, they love the natures. They are always love the natures. Number four, we observe the photographer. Photographer is one kind of traveler now. Like in the time of traveling, we capture the different types of sites and different capturing every moment of their trip, and like animals, like local foods, and they are always hanging a camera on their neck. So they are the photographer, they are also the traveler. Now come to the another point, that the social butterfly, they are also the traveler, because when they are traveling at that time, they captured the photos and downloaded and uploaded that photos on their Facebook, their Instagram, and also there will be the blogger of the YouTube channel. So they are also the traveler. They are called the social butterfly. Also, there are some party animal. They are also the traveler because they always love the fun. They plan to revolve or around the best party place, nightlife. They looks the bars, the clubs. So they are enjoying their time at the time of their traveling. Now, number seven, the planner. They are the most important traveler because they plan themselves. Because they always plan that how can they travel. So before they travel, they always write a notebook and they travel on the daily plan setup. So they are called the planner. They are also the traveler. Now the norm. So in the number eight, the norm, they have the traveler who has no planning, like opposite to the planner traveler. So they're just moving around the world without any planning. Their goal is to travel the unseen place. They have no plan, but they are traveling. Another point is come that the thriller seeker. So they are always love at the time of traveling, from climbing the mountain climbing, then their bungee jumping, and they love to fly from the sky. So they are the thrill seeker traveler. And in the number 10, the functional traveler. So to this traveler, travel is just means to the end, most consisting a business traveling and visiting the different kinds of place on functioning traveling, like want to see the football match, want to go for traveling for the wedding, for attend in the wedding. So they are also often consumed with their task to get most out of the destination. Now come to the point, the pilgrim. You also know that in the religious, they have their some of the they go for the Hajj for a certain period in every year. They also are traveler. And also number 12, the shopper. They likes to shop in their traveling time. Like they are shopping, the shopper may either man or woman, but they are always on trip. They complete their shopping at the time of their traveling, and they buys the gift for their friends and for their families. And Mr. Martin already said about the backpacker. So you already know about the backpacker. And there are number 14, there are the gap year travelers. They are basically the graduate of school or college student, because at the time of their year gap, they are preparing themselves for traveling. So they are called the gap year travelers. So those who are planning that after my this exam, we are the friends go on this moment to go in abroad, or we can go the travel to our country's destination. So they are the gap year traveler. Now, in the travelers, they have one type of traveler is called the complainer, because they are not satisfied in their life in any moment. Like at the time of traveling, they always complain that, oh, the shower is not working, the bedsheet is not so much clean. So they are also the traveler, because but they are the complainer. And also the gang. So this type of traveling is a group traveler, like is a large group of friends. They planning to travel as a gang. That they planning the whole year. That yes, in this year we go to this place, we go to that place. They are also the traveler. And also the weekender, they are also the traveler, because in every weekend they plan to go someplace, or they might visit some place close to their home, even go on the short trip in a further way. Often financially stable people are thinking this type of traveling, because if you are always planning that every week you go for a traveling, but for that reason you must be a financially stable people. Another point is come that the chatterbox. This one seems befriend anyone and everyone they meet on their trip, like you are alone in your traveling time, but you are a chatterbox from the taxi driver to waiter. You capture your friend that you capture your friend that you say, okay, in the traveling time you make some friends. That is called the chatterbox traveler, because they always chatting with all kinds of people. Another point is come now, that is the luxury traveler. So nothing less than a five-star hotel is enough for this traveler. So no matter whether she go luxury is a top priority, from personal cab to classy restaurant. They like to do things in style. So they are the luxury traveler. And number 20, the escaping. So they are always try to escape from this society. They are basically run away from the boredom, from the guilty, for the failure, for the conflict. They are also this one kind of traveler looking for some sort of escape at the far away for destination. Another point is here, that is solo artists. Like a growing section, solo traveler choose travel alone in this world. They are the solo traveler. They like to travel alone, because they enjoy alone traveling. And also number 22, the soul searcher. So this one is quite different from escapee. They use traveling as a meaning of finding themselves, or find some spiritual meaning of life. Often traveling alone, they want to holiday. They teach them something, whether that is meditation or cookery. Another point is come, that is the budget trip. Already Mr. Martin said the budget traveler. Yes, they are the budget traveler. They are collected each of their penny and save it on their wallet and go to the traveling at the time of their traveling time. Another point is come the collector. They never leave a new place without a memento. So they are the physically object like a souvenir or uncommon experience. So they are actually one type of traveler. They are called the collector. Another point, the pioneer, the seeker of the most unexplored or offbeat destination. So they are traveling unusual museum, exploring the world, and they are always called the pioneer. So this is the traveling time, the types of traveler, and another traveler is called the crewless one. They are also the traveler. And number 28 is called the tourist. So most of the people you met are simply the tourist, traveler who prefer seeking to well-known destination and touristy activity, often during the establishing holiday season. They may organize tour and even or entire guided by travel guides or books. Now think about this thing, that what type of traveler are you? And another question is here, that do you fall neatly into one category, or do you see yourself in many? Another question is here, are you someone who is something completely different? Because we are the traveler and we have different perception. So on the basis of your perception, the travelers are actually divided in these categories. Because in the tourism world, we are not say that all the travelers have the same mind. So they have different mentality, they have different mind. So this is your question, that you think what type of traveler you are, and are you one who have something completely different from this list of traveler. Now come to the point that hospitality, because our focus point is modern traveler and accommodation. So under the accommodation, we need the hospitality. So here you observe in the picture that under the hospitality industry, you have some relax, you have some food, you need some hotel, so you need accommodation at the time of traveling. So hospitality, the term hospitality describe the service provided from a host, a staff member, or business, or if to his guest. In the modern time is also referred to the industry of providing housing or service to paying customer. On the other hand, historically, this meant that service provided by the host were done out goodwill. Hospitality also translate to Latin word, and it is comes to the guest, and the people provide or offer hospitality need to be a friendly and make guests feel comfortable and welcome, because hospitality can perform in any place where the service is provided. Well-known example is the hospitality industry, or the hotel, the theme park, the restaurant. But can we done in any service focus is established? Many customer expect a certain level of hospitality depending on the price and quality of hospitality business. So it is very much important that at the time of hospitality industry, you must give the comfort and welcome to your customer or your guest, which means that the traveler. Now in the hospitality industry, you observe that under the hospitality industry, you have the travel, you have the management, you have the restaurant, you have the recreation. So these are the types of traveler. So these are the hospitality industry characteristics. And under these characteristics, a traveler must enter in this industry when the traveler travel at the time of his traveling period. Now, in the hospitality, you also observe that under the tourism, that in the hospitality and the tourism industry, you have the tourism, you have the travel, you have lodging, management, restaurant, recreation, theme parks, many things. So these are the point that each of these unit are related with the hospitality and tourism, and which means then each and every unit has some employee, has some employment, and this industry also contribute to the society and also to the GDP of a country. Now, the difference between the hospitality industry and the travel industry, it is very much simple that hospitality industry is concerned with service-related customer satisfaction. So, hospitality industry always prefer the customer satisfaction. Here I mentioned that the customer is here is the traveler. So, as a participant, you must understand that when you are working on a hospitality industry, you must give the customer satisfaction, which means that traveler satisfaction. So now that travel and tourism and hospitality in this circle, you observe that under this figure, you observe that there is a circle around from the travel and hospitality, travel and tourism and hospitality. There is lodging, there is restaurant, and there is the travel agencies. Now, in the hospitality industry, your findings are lots of business like hotel, motel, restaurant, vacation ownership, hostel, different things like travel agencies, taxi service, then real estate, then beverage, then recreation equipment, then food production, then souvenirs. All are the related part or attribute of this hospitality industry. So it's a very much important concept that if a country boost up its hospitality industry, then ultimately is boost up the country's economy, because each of these attribute has some financial contribute to the country's economic GDP. Now, come to the point that in the hospitality, most of the important part is accommodation, then food and drinks, and then travel and tourism. So, in this part, you see that accommodation is important part in the hospitality, then food and drinks important thing, and also the traveling and tourism. Now, under the accommodation sector of the hospitality industry is concerned with providing customer with a place of stay on temporary basis. It's the most commonly associated with the tourism industry, where people book holiday, trip, and also accommodation sector create local people seeking a short break from their everyday routine, and those who require temporary accommodation for almost any other purpose. And accommodation and its service. In the accommodation, you have some important services like bread, bed, and breakfast. Like in the bed and breakfast, also known B&Bs, are a small establishment of this accommodation and its service included in the bed and breakfast. Another point is come the hotels. So hotels are one of the important part for the modern traveler for traveling, and it is a very much important an important part for the accommodation and its services. And in the hotel, you have different kind of services, including room service, housekeeping, facilitating for eating and drinking. So if we classify the hotels, then you see there are different types of hotels around the walls, like based on the size, based on the star, based on the location, based on ownership, based on services, based on duration, and alternative accommodation also is here. And in this figure, you see that in the size they have a small, medium, large. In the start, they have the 5 star, and also different types of hotels you see in the hotel classification. But in the alternative accommodation, you see the yacht hostel, boarding houses, then campus ground, railway or airport rooms, and paying guest accommodation. Accommodation and its service, we already says that hotel. Now come to the motel. Motel are similar to the hotel, but they are specifically designed for the use of overnight. And come to the hostel. That hostel are from communal accommodation, while multiple guests will usually sleep in shared a room. And you have the resort, you have the service apartment, you have the time sharing accommodation types. These are the service of accommodation. And what does hospitality mean for hotel in the digital age? Because we are looking about the modern traveler. So in the modern traveler means they are always needs some digital accommodation or digital hospitality management system. And in the digital age, you must take every opportunity to differentiate yourself and your hospitality from other. So in this digital age, you have some different types of needs. So at the hospitality industry, those who are working in the hospitality industry, they must analyze the needs of the travelers. And also here you see in the digital world, they have the personalization in the customer, expecting their visit to customize themselves. Keeping up the hospitality mean doing as much as you can meet this type of desire, because your travelers have some desire, have some needs to fulfill their needs. Now, in the digital age, the hospitality management always try to fulfill the customer satisfaction. And also accommodation for modern traveler, there are always time when traveler are seeking different types of choices, because modern traveler has the different types of choices at the time of accommodation. And you see in the hostel facility, the traveler needs the solo traveler and the budget traveler, they needs the hostel. So they needs the hostel, they have the budget option. So they also might needs this type of accommodation at the time of traveling. And also hotel, they need some of the traveler needs luxury hotel. And like they want to break their travel, they want to travel period, they plan to travel in a luxurious hotel, luxurious place. And also in the traveling time, the apartment also accommodation, good accommodation for the traveler who travel for the long term traveling. Suppose a medical traveler also a traveler. So when they go for the treatment from one country to another country, they needs this type of apartment and this type of apartment gives them the all types of comfort. Like they have the kitchen, they have the living room, they have the all types of facility like a home. Now, in the combination of apartment, some of the traveler needs some gym, some newspaper services. So the apartment owner also gives this type of services to the traveler, because this is called the luxurious apartment experience for the traveler who are travel in the luxurious period of time. And also the guest house also a budget traveler and unique experience for the guest house, most of the common in the Asia, and they are usually small and budgetary, and they are friendly for the traveler. Now we come to the point that in a traveling time, the modern traveler needs some private rental houses. So they also need some private rental houses at the time of traveling. Like now, the point is here that trend affect the modern traveler. So what does the trend affect the modern travelers? Like it is a globalization, safety and security, the diversity, the services, the technology, the legal issue, the changing in the demographic, and also price and value. These are the point, and also the sanitation, because it is the COVID-19 era. So in this time, these are the point that affect the modern traveler, and also the security is another point, because at the time of traveling, time, traveler always needs some security. So a country needs this kind of facility for the traveler to move freely around in a city or around in a town. Like and now the service model, in the service model, you must give smile, make eye contact, respect and welcome all guests, value to the magic, and initiates guest contact, creative service situation, and at the end of the time you say thank you to the modern traveler, because different types of traveler are come to your hotel in your hospitality industry. Now the point is here that what is shaping the future of hospitality industry? In the hospitality industry, we already observed that it is a COVID-19 era, and in this COVID-19 era, our hospitality industry actually damages so much, because so many peoples are now jobless. In this situation, the hospitality industry are facing in a threat. So in the COVID-19 era, you must select the hospitality industry in different ways, because they are the lockdown, they are the hospitality sector to live through waste of result in recent history. They are the financial loss, and hotels are closed. So now the social impact is clear to us all, that has faced the change in the way we live, and the daily routine, such as working practice, shopping habit, and even the interpersonal relationship have been altered. So now, as a traveler, their demands are change, because their demands are changed, because now they want some digital thing. Already Mr. Martin shows this kind of thing, like health and safety. In the health and safety requirement, they needs some different types of thing, like automated ticket booking, automated the automated room, traveling hotel room. Like some of the hotel room are says the voice sensitive room, like they just say lights are open, so the traveler don't need to touch the light button. So this is one of the point, that health and safety. Also the willingness, the United Nations has emphasized the importance of mental health, that at the times of our loneliness we have in the lockdown, we are seriously harm for our mental health. So in this time we need some fresh oxygen, organic foods. So at the time of the traveler visiting time, the hospitality industry must give this kind of facilities to the traveler or their customer. Also, consumption is spending. Many traveler will prioritize the expenditure. So now it is important that before purchasing anything, as a hospitality industry must show that they have the different price as market after analyzing the or serving the market that what type of pricing they give to the traveler. So we already almost end to our lecture that COVID has had a service impact on the global economy, which must be taken into account. But people will still go on holiday. They will just travel smarter. So low risk location that guarantee on easy return will be prioritized. So travel smarter means you need now smart traveling. So you need some smart traveling, like without touching anything, the traveling will happen now. Like e-ticket booking, like already I said that we need the Google facilities on our hotel room, on the airport, on the flight. Always we need some smart traveling. Otherwise, we are not capturing the mind of the modern travelers. So now we come to the end. Like at the end of the day, your feet should be dirty, your hair is messy, and your eyes are sparking at the time of traveling. So at the time of traveling, you must see some new thing. You must observe some new culture, new food, and different types of perception you need at the time of your traveling. So thank you for your attention, and this is my contact number. So if any one of you want to contact with me, you just capture this picture. You will be able to contact with me anytime, and sharing with me many things about the traveling. So this is the end of my slide, and thank you all for being with me.
Thank you so much, Professor Muhammad Sharyar Parvez. So thank you, sir, for letting us meet the different type of travelers and making us understand the accommodations and trends of modern travelers. I'm trying to reflect and assess what type of traveler I am, and I might consider myself as the budget tripper. And I would also like to add I'm a food tripper as well. So thank you, sir, for letting us meet the different type of travelers. We are happy listening, and some of our viewers are also trying to assess themselves what type of traveler they are. So, thank you so much, Professor Sharyar Parvez, for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Now is the moment for traveling agencies, hotels, and establishments to demonstrate the resilience of the hospitality sector in the new normal and its capacity to adjust and integrate the new rules and regulations. But as human and as travelers, we should contribute to these changes to revive tourism and hospitality. We should be the one to first find the comfort and following rules and regulations, especially if it will generate to our peace of mind when we are traveling because we're in the new normal. So that's all for Sir Muhammad Sharyar Parvez, and now we will now move on to the quiz competition. So we are inviting everyone to join the quiz competition. The code is already on the screen. code, the quiz competition. The code is already on the screen. We are inviting everyone to join so we can travel with each other. We will be connected with this code. Oh, here we have Jedalia Albia, Arnel Campbell, Elias Austria, Nur Hamida, Alvin Lumaban. Thank you all for participating. For those who are interested, please click www.slido.com with the code IGP01 quiz. And the link is already pinned in the comment section below. Welcome, Miss Leia Madronio Octoman. Thank you for the speakers. Yes, we have great speakers tonight. For GLP Punam, the code for certificate will be after the live program. We will make sure to post the code so you can claim your certificate. We will post the code later. Right now, let's proceed with the quiz competition. We have Emily M. Refugo, Alnet Santiago, Zerilyn Vargas, Vendea Rodriguez, Mylene Sanchez, Maribel Ocol, Dr. Norosman Kahugatan, Arnaba, R. Anthony Salvacion, Mavon Gallego, Gary Phil Caingles, Sherilyn Callejo Yamaguchi, Danny Cerso, Vendea Rodriguez. This webinar is really taking too long. Yes, that's part the quiz competition and also the question and answer session. That's part of the webinar. That's part of the program. So we're in quiz competition. After this, we will have the question and answer. And after that, the certification process. We will post the certification process after the question and answer session. All right, the code will be IGP01 quiz. Always welcome, Ma'am Elvie Nool Montalvo. Congratulations to all our speakers. And of course, congratulations to you, Ma'am Elvie, for joining tonight. Thank you, Mr. Alvin Reynoso Lumaban, for putting the code on the comment section below. Dennis Cerso, Vendea Gel Esperas, Maribel Ocol, Maynard Bastillas, Evelyn Wapere, Cristobal Natividad, Zeralyn Vargas, Shalomay Moralde. Thank you so much. Welcome also, Ma'am Nila Arenas. Yes, you're correct, Kachin Jadnai said. Whatever traveler you are, you can travel virtually thanks to all the speakers. Always welcome to Kachin Jadni said. Thank you and welcome also Gian Galanza. We have 85, 86 participants in our quiz competition. We have Fritzy Porquez, Mavon Gallego, Paula Chandra Barman, Abigail Isidro, May Angelica Cinco, Sheila R. Garcia, Ashko Kumar Adhikari, Fritzy Porquez, Joven de la Peña Jr., Deo Stephanie Angeles, Antonel Albano. We're reading some of your comments. Thank you, Mr. Kelvin Lenatok, for answering. Yes, our webinars have a length of 2 to 3 hours, really. 2 to 3 hours of traveling. Marisa Lara, Leo Andrew Olarte, Gary Phil, Kingles. I think I read all the names already. I'm waiting for the other quiz participants. Shalome Moralde, Ira Maris E. Burlat, Venetia Pinquihan Montesilio, Evelyn Waperi, Leo Andrew F. Olarte. The code is IGP01 quiz. Sheila R. Garcia is taking the quiz. Antonel Albano, Irma Garrigues. It's nice. Thank you all for participating. Irma Garrigues and Sheila Garcia. All right, now it's time for the first question. What is one benefit of a career in hospitality and tourism? Please choose your answer wisely. "92% of you answered opportunities to be creative." And I guess the correct answer is wow, the 92% got it correct. Congratulations. Kenneth Samya. Next question. In what areas of hospitality and tourism is technology most visible? We have four choices. Wow, 78% answered marketing and communications. What will be the correct answer? That's nice. So the 78% got it correct. Janice Kachin. It is a specific form of tourism that requires travelers to provide voluntary labor. What is that specific form of tourism? It's volunteerism. That's why volunteer labor. Which of this is not a country where hospitality and tourism is a large industry? Which of this is not a country? Is it China, United States, Czechoslovakia? 53% got it correct. It's Czechoslovakia. Maureen Pespes, congratulations. Anything that leisure travelers find interesting is called 51%. Most of you answered attractions, and you are correct. Now, for our number six question. To meet the needs of a destination's guest, the scope of hospitality business must have all but the only one should be removed. And what scope is that? Wow, half and half. 47 for accommodations and 47 for law enforcement. Now, what is the correct answer? It's law enforcement. Congratulations, Maurice, again. Now, for our number seven question, the greatest global employment opportunity is. What is the greatest global employment? Wow, tourism 78%. Of course, that's our topic, global tourism. The hospitality industry does not include. Yes, it's manufacturing 90%. Great, Ginalyn Villar Resurrection for being the top one. And for the ninth question, what is one impact for today's global economy has had on the hospitality and tourism industry? What is that great impact? Most of you answered more multicultural travelers, and you are correct. Gina Lynn again. And for the last question, what is the highest percentage of travelers are? What is the highest percentage of travelers? %58 chose vacationers. Oh, the answer is transient business people. So they are the highest percentage of travelers. Wow, congratulations. We already have the result. Ginaline Villar Resurrection. Congratulations. And of course, to all the top 10, all of you will receive your certificates. And of course, for those who participated, it means a lot to us. It means you are interested until the end of this session. Thank you all. Thank you also for all who participated. You are all winners. So, for those who completed their quiz, you can also claim your certificate. So the IGP will pick and prepare certificates and will post them on our official page and group within 15 minutes because we have all the names of all the participants. So congratulations to all the top 10 quiz competition winners, especially to our first placer, Ginaline Villar Resurrection. Thank you and congratulations. And now we will prepare for the question and answer session. You can type your question later in the comment section below. And now it's time for the question and answer session. And we have on stage again, though it's a virtual stage, Professor Parvis and Mr. Martin Guash. Once again, hello and good evening. Have you been waiting for so long, Professor Parvis and Mr. Martin? Not really. Are you all right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yes. We are all doing well while traveling in IGP. All right, so for those who want to ask questions, don't hesitate because we will entertain all your questions. Mr. Martin and Professor Parvis will answer all your questions. Just type your question in the comment section below. Don't forget to address the speaker's name so it will be easier for us to recognize which question is that for. Once again, the participants are requested to ask their questions in the comment box below. Also waiting for your question. If you have any question, just type your question in the comment section below. And after that, we will proceed with the certification process after the question and answer session. Sir Parvis, what time is it in Bangladesh? Are we
Now,
ahead from the Philippines?
yes, now it is 8 2015.
In the evening also.
Yes.
Oh, so we're 2 hours ahead in the Philippines. It's almost late night in the Philippines. We only have 100 viewers. So there's no question for all the
So,
participants.
so far, I understand that all the participant understanding all the points described Mr. Martin and also me, because when there is no question, it means that each of the participant understand every point clearly.
So we would like to commend you, Sir Martin and Professor Parvis, because there's no question. Oh, we already have questions, sir. So for Professor Mohammed Parvis, are there any boundaries among all types of travelers?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ayman Safi. So, thanks for your question, and you are asking a nice question to me. Are there any boundaries among all types of traveler? Actually, I feel that there is no boundaries among the traveler, because each of the community you have the traveler. Like in your country, you are one of the traveler of your country. Like you are the inside traveler, so there is no boundary. If you want to go to the other country, then you have might some requirement of the countries, but your perception is same. Like when you are inside traveler, when you are outside traveler, the point is here that what type of traveler you are. If you are a backpacker, like Dr. Martin said, then if you are inside, you are a backpacker. If you are go beyond your boundary, also you are a backpacker. So it means that at first you decided that what type of traveler you are and what you prefer, what should you prefer at the time of your traveling. So that will be main indication. And so far I understand that, or I believe that there are not any boundaries among all types of traveler. But yes, there are some of them might like that complainer traveler. If you are complainer traveler, like always complaining, then your
Mm,
friends are sometimes say, oh, no, 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 yeah, you are not included in our group, because you are always complain that this is not working, this is not working at the time of traveling. So thank you for your question. I think that you understand my point, that there is no boundaries among the all types of travelers.
It's good, sir, that there's no boundary. So from GLP Punam for Sir Parvis again, how can we make tourism sector more effective?
Thanks, Mr. Poonam. You are asking very much important question because you say that how can we make tourism sector more effective? Like it is related of the financial sector. So far, I believe that because when the tourism sector is effective, then it will contribute to our society and contribute the tourism economy. And one point, Mr. Martin already said the sustainable tourism. So without sustainable tourism, it is not possible to gain this gain. So it is mean that under the sustainable tourism, you must make some effective tourism. Like in this COVID era, suppose in this COVID era, you make some tourism like sanitization and safety is the main priority. Otherwise, if you want to boost up your tourism sector, then at first you must capture the mind of the traveler because tourism who actually main target of the tourism, the traveler. If I am not traveling, that how can my hotel manager get the price of their room? So at first awareness is important because if we aware the traveler that yes, tourism is very much important for you and also for the country. And another point is here the infrastructure development. If the country's economy, if you want to boost up the country's economy by tourism, then infrastructure development is one of the point because where the traveler goes and there are no sanitization, there are no good hotel, then how can your beautiful place they enjoy? Suppose I remember one thing where when I was travel in Thailand in a floating market. So when I think that I want to go a washroom, then I observe that there are no good washroom are there. So I am a traveler. So this is one of the point I noticed. So next time I will not go there. So this is the main part, the infrastructure development. So if the country's infrastructure develop for the traveler, then I think this sector will be more effective for the country's economy.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir. And for the Sir Martin, airlines, hotels, and tourism industry leverage calculated misery by degrading basic services fees to pressure travelers to want to pay more to escape mediocre services. What bothers me is the idea that they deliberately designed this experience to make travelers feel miserable by making travel less pleasurable to fly. But is that really necessary, especially during pandemic when people don't have money? Or Sir Martin?
You know, this is a perception, no? Because there are no airlines, there are no travel agencies, there are no people who designs things so that it becomes, for you to be miserable. The concept is always for it to be pleasurable. Eh. So when they're doing that, it's not really intended. There's no intention for it to be miserable for you. Sometimes something is beautiful, but it is perception that tells you that it is not. So um, making every uh, package mean to people, that would be very hard, no? So because we always want to standardize, how do we give it? Although there are times that we try to make it more at a personalized level, but then again, my point is that there are no tourism industry or even hospitality industry that provides mediocre services. But it would depend because of how much you pay. So if you pay this, naturally you'll be getting this type of services. So that's like, for example, in the airlines, there's the economy and then the business class. So if you pay for economy, you don't expect your champagne in the economy class. Naturally, you'll be expecting better food in the business class, like that. So services are given. It depends on the level of pricing that is developed for a specific type of person. So for me, if you want luxury and more, then there's a need for you to really pay more. No, if I would follow the concept of the flash packers, no, if you want to pay, if you want to get more, you really need to pay more. It's hard for you to get more by paying less. No, so just like education, if you really, really, really need good or a top of the line, then you have to be ready for paying more. No, so just like that, luxury, travel, luxury, hospitality, services will definitely be paying more. Thank you very much for that question, Ms. Oligo.
Thank you, sir, for answering that question too. For Sir Martin again, what are the steps in order to join the tourism organization you are a member? Well, what are the steps? So they want to be a tourism organization member.
Member of
That's it.
Yeah, I think you can go through the website of the Institute of Global Professionals in order for you to look at the process for you to become a member of the IGP. And at the same time, the Atom, the Alliance for Hospitality and Tourism Movers of the Philippines, has its own uh, Facebook account, which you can contact and communicate with. Uh, for Atom, there's no membership fee because it's really more of being able to put together all the people working in the industry and being able to have to have that venue to communicate, address their concerns. So that's for Atom. For IGP, it's more of an international thing, and it's also for free. So I think if you're looking for the certifications, there are a lot of online certification examinations that you can take for free. No, it does not necessarily mean that you really have to be paying. Most especially nowadays, um, there are some part of educations that you can take for free, and still there are some educations that you have to pay for. So for the organizations and for the certifications, you need to go to IGP's Facebook account. It's there also. I think there are no fees that are being collected for IGP. That's why this forum and discussion and webinar is given for free. And in the same way that the Alliance for Hospitality and Tourism Movers of the Philippines is also doing it for free. Thank you
Yes,
very
that's
much for
correct.
that question, Mr. Lolita Severon.
And from Celsius Watchon to both speakers, there's a push for vaccination passports to revive tourism. Do you think such world suffice to jumpstart the industry? Why? So for Professor Parves first, do you think
Uh,
such would
uh,
suffice to jumpstart the industry?
very good question. That where push you vaccination passport to revive the tourism. Actually, so far I understand that vaccination passport, some sort, it is not necessary in the tourism or in traveling time, because when it is actually separated the minds of the people that I have vaccination passport, so I have not. No, I think if you are not vaccinated, then you might test the COVID-19 test, and you might get some certificate that you have no COVID-19. If you are vaccinated, then you show your certificate that I am vaccinated. And also, I understand that when I create this kind of vaccination passport, then the vaccinated people are close together, they are not maintaining their masks or their sanitization, then the COVID-19 will be spreaded easily to them, because it is not guaranteed that if you are vaccinated you have no COVID-19 again in your body. So I think that this concept, I'm not agreed with this concept. And another point, he said that, do you think SARS would suffice to jumpstart the industry? I think no. If it is not a thing that the industry will jump by this kind of vaccination passport. If you need to jump the industry, then the point is here, you must apply the sanitization and apply the hands free or smart technology at the time of traveling, like e-ticket, like in the Google, you use the Google Home in the hotel or in the passport area. So I think this will be better if the smart traveling technology used in this time. Vaccination passport, I think it is not so much helpful for traveling time. So far, I believe this thing. Please, Dr. Martin, please.
Thank you very
Sir
much,
Martin.
Professor. No, with regards to the question, uh, push for vaccination passport. There is a push and pull with regards to a vaccination passport. No, right now we haven't reached that what we call the herd immunity. No, meaning to say, it would be very hard for the industry to and for the government to push through with vaccination passport. It would hurt a lot of industry, because there are still a lot of people that are not being vaccinated, whether we are in the first world country, or in the third world country. There are still countries that have not yet reached the 50% mark of their population in the vaccination program. So that would be very hard for us to apply. Some industries, some governments are looking at it like a flu situation. If you go to the US, there's a need for you to get your flu shots. If you go to Europe, before going there, you need to get your flu shots. So people are moving towards that concept that this is another flu shot that we need to do. So passports to revive tourism. Number two, do you think such would vaccination is not the main component for the industry to open up? But the main component for the industry are the health protocols, guidelines, policies, and procedures that are needed, equipments that are needed, trainings and seminars that are needed by the industry to be able to cope with this kind of situation. So the vaccination program is should not be seen that way, but rather just a part of an entirety of solution into this type of problem. I think that's the reason why in my discussion I started discussing snippets of history of travel, because I wanted to show to you that this pandemic did not just occur today, but there are several pandemics that has already happened in the history of humanity. And there are certain problems that were already encountered by humanity, and we were able to survive that. And that is the reason why, at the end of my discussion, I was talking of hope. And because that is what we need to be talking about. And I'm very that this discussion is here, discuss global things, and then modern travelers, because we wanted to show to people that people are hopeful in the future, in the for a better tomorrow. We are hopeful that everything would be okay as long as there are good government, industry planning, and protocols and guidelines that will be followed. No, I think that would be it. If we put all of that together, we will be able to achieve that what we call as the jump start. That's the second part of my lecture, the recovery stage. No? So recovery readiness. Thank you very much, Professor Proves, for that. Thank you, dears.
Once again, thank you, Professor Parves and Mr. Martin, for entertaining all our questions and making us more aware of what's really happening right now when it comes to modern traveling. So maybe traveling is a bridge that connects human to another because we learn from each other through traveling, but we should bear in mind that we should respect the protocols, the safety protocols, because it's not just for the other people but also for ourselves as well. So we should learn to follow. We will be more obedient when it comes to rules and regulations that our destination is implementing. That's the modern traveling, more respect to each other because we are all adaptable to changes. So we should be more resilient and respectful. All right, so thank you so much, Professor Parvis and Mr. Martin Guash, for giving your time and for the opportunity for today.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Professor Proves, and thank you,
Uh,
dears.
Thank you, Dr. Martin, and also IGP.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And now for our announcement. From 1st of August, we will arrange a free international webinar daily. So the time fix is 6 p.m., but in the Philippines, it's still 8 o'clock in the evening. So just keep updated with all the posts of Institute of Global Professionals in our Facebook page, in a group, WhatsApp group, and also in YouTube. We already have 3 platforms that serves all of you. Double bonus. So from September, we will arrange free international webinar on a weekend. So that's every Sunday morning session, 9:30 in the morning. So 3 hours morning session from 1st September. So starting September 1, we will have the weekend every Sunday morning session. So we will include Sunday and double bonus. From October, we will arrange FDP and STTP program for your organization. So that's an additional bonus. So that starting mark all the dates. First, so let's follow the certification process. First, certificate code must from July 12, 2021, which available on video sessions certification part. Without certificate code, no one is eligible for certificates. Video will be available always on our Facebook page, website, and YouTube channel. Who wants to learn? Number 4. Who wants to learn? Anyone can join us on live sessions or later recorded sessions. Number 5, we don't have any restrictions for learning. Our only focus, learn anything you want, but learning is a must. Certification is just an additional recognition for you, but what really matters is your learning in the webinar. And for number 6, the beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. From BBT. For the first time, IGP will launch a virtual award ceremony program as we are different from any other organization. So, in this case, also the same. So, for the first time, there will be a virtual award ceremony program brought to you by Institute of Global Professionals. This is the certification process that we need to consider step by step. On for today's program name, July 30, Step 1, Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. Please make sure to find this course, Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. Step 2. For the certification link, please click eduigp.com courses Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. Certification link is now available in comment box and pinned comments below. Certification link will be available always in this program post, Facebook page, Facebook group, YouTube description. Once again, the certification link is in the pinned comments below. You can claim your certificate in two ways: direct link from comment box or pinned comment or post description, or if you're not able to click this link, please directly browse tripleeduigp.com for all information together. Find today's program, then the process are the same. Step 3. If you are new, don't forget to create your own account. If you have an account, then log in directly. After that, find the seminar title and get enrolled. If you are new, create your own account. For step 4, certification code is required. Today's program name is Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers with the code IGP 1122. Again, for today's code, IGP 1122. Without this code, your certificate is not valid. Without code, no one is eligible for certificates. So don't forget to type the code IGP 1122. 1122. So for today's program name, it's Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. And it's already in the pinned comment. I'm also reading in the comment section. So there's a link for the certification process, but don't forget to include the code. For those who are asking where's the code, it's already on the screen. 1122, IGP 1122. Keep yourself updated with all the IGP's webinar because as we quoted, learning is the only thing that no one can take it away from you. And it's free, and during this pandemic, we should continue learning. Some announcement. Please note, quiz code and certificate code is not the same. We have a different code for quiz and we have different code for certification process too. So they are not the same. With code, click Get Your Certificate. And for tonight's code is IGP 1122. Certification code is required. Type IGP 1122 and then get your certificate. Please make sure that the program's title is Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers. Our free international webinar certificate is auto-downloadable in PDF file, so check your device file manager. Sometimes it looks uncompleted, which is for your mobile screen size. In PDF file, everything is okay. If nothing found in your file manager, please check your browser setting or update your browser or try with another browser, or you can also try from a laptop or a desktop. Even in your Android phone, I can also get or claim my certificate using Android phone. So you can also try because there are different browser settings. So this is the example of certificate. IGP is a verified certificate, ISO verified certificate. If you follow all the steps, then you can claim your certificate. You can join all our live programs from Facebook page, Facebook group, YouTube channel, website. If anyone missed any program due to some unavoidable issues, still you can attend previous webinar with verified certificate. There are recorded sessions of IGP's webinar. You can attend all the previous webinar. It's in the different programs in Facebook page, Facebook group, and YouTube channel. Dear participants, if any problem raised to claim your certificate or any other issues, please don't hesitate to contact us. If now our website isn't working well, don't panic. It's issue or traffic cause of maximum users. You can claim your certificates tomorrow also. So there's no need to rush. If you already have the code, you can claim your certificate tomorrow. Our core team members are always ready in comment section to support you to find solutions. We have the core team members, Miss Jeanette S. Cablao and Calvin Linato. So there are the team members who can answer all your questions. These are the next webinar brought to you by Institute of Global Professionals. August 1, Empowerment Through Education. August 2, 2021. Thesis Writing Made Easy, Part 1 by Dr. Rayugel Santiago and Dr. Emeline Bugayo. August 3, Setting Career Goals with Dr. Presti, Dr. Esha, and Chuta Avidaili. August 4, 2021. Thesis Writing Made Easy, Part 2 with Dr. Arnold Alvaro and Dr. Wilma David Paras. August 5, 2021. Self-Determination Leads to Success with Dr. Hasna Bukwala, Gisola Jabin, and Barbara Hopkinson. Make sure your availability for the set dates for your learning. August 6, 2021. Mental Health for Educators by Miss Yolunda Elam from United States and Nisha Livingston from United States too. Mental Health for Educators. August 7, 2021. Transcending Optimism and Research-Based Practices in Education. All the speakers came from the Philippines. August 8, 2021. Human Resources and Conflict Management with Dr. Orisha Siraji and Dr. Sherman Andy. August 9, 2021. Transforming the Future Through Education with Luana Dotgan, Amroha Chambul, and Dr. Sholi Mukharhe. August 10, 2021. Global Communication for Educators with Verhon Manonong, Henry Lemanya II, and Danilo Boradillo. August 11, 2021. Developing Resilience with Dr. Randy Ward, Beatriz Yesufo, and Rashmi Saha. August 12, Creativity in Teaching with Emmanuel F. Del Rosario and Mr. Ferus Akbarov. August 13, 2021. Leading Change Through Uncertainty with Lorelai Canali Arcles, Marin Mila Casimihe, and Dr. Tanya Simons. Please check and confirm your program time, and we'll see each other again on August 14. Social Emotional Learning with Given Gomez Pineda and Lerma Tuazon Guzman, both from United States. August 15, 2021. Transformational Leadership with Dr. Lenora Wimberle Peterson, Harpal Singh, and Viraj Sirkison. Save all the dates. And August 17, 2021, Leading for Success with Dr. Shamila Ramhawan, Jaya Sohani, and Delia Fonte. And that's it. Thank you all for attending tonight's session. We hope that you will be with us on the upcoming webinars brought to you by Institute of Global Professionals. Feed your skills. Traveling is a bridge that connects human to one another about culture, food, sights, music, and the way people live their day-to-day lives in different parts of the world. If you're looking for a best site of learning, traveling would be a great offer. Traveling lets you gain information from new places and people, but it can also shape you into a better and well rounded person. How? If we respect each other's culture, though we have different culture, we respect and accept each other. And for the meantime, we're in traveling new normal. We should follow all the health and safety procedures for us to be safe as well. Dear knowledge seekers, thank you all for joining us. Please leave a review, check in, and recommend on our page, and spread the information to your friends and community. Don't forget to collect your e certificate from our website mentioned below. And we have upcoming webinar also on August 18 with the title Facts and Figures of Ancient Mathematical Techniques with Dr. VJ Kumar Villas and Dr. Manish Krishan Villas. August 19, Community Engagement and Empowerment with Belia Vu, Kalnapa Kundom, and Roma Ofortube. August 20, 2021, Concepts and Components of Quantitative Research with Jonathan Gamboa and Mark Rustom Valentin. August 21, Achieving Success Through Innovation with Love Charmaine, Cobus Visor, and Cristina Scaler. August 23, 2021, Leadership in Education with Dr. Babalwa Fatil, Dr. Ruby Bakshi Kurdi, and Martina Kesek. August 25, Social Emotional Teaching and Learning Management with Ranaya Lampu, Mo Zuper, and Marina Karitonashvili. August 27, 2021, we have four speakers striving for success. Dr. Ella Ford Matutwa, Dr. Rita Jairat, Adobe Oquel, Vanessa Jacqueline Cruz. Confirm the program time with your time zone. August 28, Significant and Dynamic Trends in Education with Teresita Rubang Doctor and Mark Anthony Senas, PA Alisbo from Thailand. Principles of Leading Change, August 29. From South Africa, Susivi Roberts from United Kingdom, Nick Hayslum, South Africa, Aliyah Shabu, and Ekta Sumera from South Africa also. August 30, 2021, Meeting the Challenges of the New Normal in School Education with Ana Margarita Agaw-Agaw and Maida Languyam Kadtong from the Philippines. August 31, 2021, Young Leaders Changing the World. We have Dr. Rosha Ramjawan, Emily Nguyen, Joshua Kelly Shetty, and Anna Hong from South Africa, United Kingdom, and Vietnam. September 1, 2021, Redefining Education with Miss Vini Jolly, and Miss Jaswinder Sethi from India. September 3, 2021. Importance of co-curricular activities in teaching and learning process with Mr. Maud Zuber, Ms. Hamindo Shamilka, and Dr. R. Hamuna from Sri Lanka and India. Check and confirm your program time and enroll now. September 5, 2021, Educators' Time and Performance Management with Mr. Sahimon Tekel Joseph and Anvi from India and Oman. We have 172 morning session waiting for you. September 5, 2021, please save the date. It's in the morning, 9:30 in the morning. So that's the first morning session, free international webinar, September 5, 9:30 in the morning. So if you have time conflict, don't worry, we have morning sessions too. September 5, 2021, Technology of the Future in Education Advantages and Challenges. September 5, 2021, with Olivera Tadik, Dr. Jovd Khan, and Nada Ratkovic from Kricha and India. Confirm all your dates. And September 7, 2021, ICT uses in everywhere with Niji Jain, Yegash Sunawane, and Harsha Shavan from India. And September 9, 2021, 21st Skills in Education and Integration of Technology with Irena Biba, Lindita Loha, and Durata Kuka. Confirm all the program names and time. September 11, 2021, Supporting Learning Through Interactive Learning Tools with Arturo De Leon, Buenavides Gerundo Jr., and Norman B. Lanes. And September 13, 2021, Methodology and Literature Review with Rex A. Lim and Felix Arcilia Jr. from the Philippines. Save all the dates, and we have the psychological issues of students. September 19, 2021, with Maud Zuber, Miss Sasha Kaluri, and Dr. R. Hamuna from Australia and India. September 24, 2021, Teaching Grammar Communicatively with Veronica Galicia and Nelson Balyaran Sipato from the Philippines. And September 25, 2021, Learning across areas of math, social studies, and assessment with Rosaline Padisha, Paul Mark, Muhammad Amir Andres, and Jovi Hinampas from the Philippines. This is the sample international webinar certificate. IGP, feed your skills, innovation, inspire, and impact. We are ISO verified organization. Please keep yourself updated by following the Facebook page or WhatsApp group. You can join. All of you are free to join. Please join the Institute of Global Professionals for more updates and learning. So once again, for the certification code required with a program name Global Hospitality Planning with Modern Travelers with a code IGP1122. So without this code, no one is eligible for certificates. Don't panic if there's maximum users who's trying to claim their certificate. You can claim your certificate tomorrow. And that's it for tonight. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you for helping yourself to learn even in these times of pandemic. Don't forget to collect your e-certificate from the website mentioned below. We hope to see you all again in the upcoming webinars of IGP. You have to set reminders so you will be reminded. So let's continue to be a knowledge traveler because we can gain information from IGP. Remember that even in these times of pandemic, learning should never stop. Let us all be optimistic and prayerful no matter what. I am your host for the evening, Lersha L. Pelaez from New Era University, Quezon City, Philippines. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.